Hi, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about beekeeping during dearth, or at least we're going to do a little bit of beekeeping during dearth. Dearth is setting in here now. I don't have bees on my hummingbird feeder yet, but that's coming. I mean, it's coming. They're going to be on there in no time at all. But anyways, the problem with beekeeping in dearth is you open a hive if you have it open too long, or if you break open some honey while you're in there, every bee tries to rob out that hive, and it's no fun because the bees get really defensive really fast. So my goal today is to, well, one, give these girls some fresh water because they need cool water on a hot day like this, and to go through the red hive and to go through Juno, two hives we didn't get through last week. So with all that said, let me clean out this bird bath, give them some fresh water, get my smoker lit, and then we will get going. Throw that out. Give it a little scrub. So I can tell you this, it's important that you give your bees a place to get clean water, and preferably cool water if you can, during the hot summer days. It'll keep them out of your neighbor's swimming pools, and I have a neighbor who has a swimming pool, and I really don't want my bees going in there and bothering them while they're having fun. And I'm sure it happens a little bit, but I do my best to prevent it. And it makes life easier for the bees. They need water to cool the hives 5 feet away. Now if you notice, I only do half of the bird bath with rocks for the bees. The other half I'll leave it open for the birds because it's a hot summer here in Georgia. They need cool water too. All right, let's light the smoker and get this show on the road here. I think we may have a new egg. We have a proud mother back there singing. I used to think chickens only did that in cartoons. Apparently it's real. The goal today, again, just to get in here, see how they're doing, because they look kind of robust on the front of the hive. And then we want to jump back there and take a look at Juno. We haven't really done a deep dive in there or seen her in a while. So let's go in there and see Juno. And we're going to call it because it's hot and humid. Now, I do have beetle traps at the ready. These girls do not have a guardian on the front, so I can only imagine what I'm going to find in here. And both fans are running full bore. I expected that. Again, I hate doing this in dearth because these bees are generally not happy during dearth. All right, holy moly. I also need to make sure I do not see the queen on here. I do not, because I do not have any queen excluders in this hive. Okay, slow and steady is the key. And I see brood up top, which means that queen is, or has been, in the upper chamber. Hey girls, just gonna have a quick look. Just wanna look around, see how you're doing. You had a rough summer. You had a rough spring, a rough start to your summer, but it looks like you're doing much better now. Right. The old Navy Queen moved in here and fixed you right up. Okay, I just broke open some honey. I just violated rule number 1 of dearth beekeeping. Alright. Okay. We can see that we have some brood in here. Lots and lots of brood. Look at that. I do not see the queen. Oh, but she is laying a ton in this upper box. Now I gave them this upper box so that they could use this for nectar stores if they found anything more than this full box of nectar that they have right here. And it looks like they've decided to use it for brood. Okay, that is half nectar, half brood. Beautiful. So the name of today's episode is How Badly I Do Not Want to Get Stung. Okay, that's nectar. And that is nectar. Do not see the queen, but we know she's here. Some things I've learned about beekeeping in dearth. One, if you're going to do any open feeding at all, do it far away from your hives. Because I tell you what, if they start robbing, and I used to feed my bees, and sometimes still do down on the bench when it's not dearth, maybe in the springtime when pollen and nectar is just starting to show up, but there is some to be found in the wild. In the fall, I don't like to feed down there at all. And the reason why is because that's very close to the apiary, and they get robbing and fighting down there at the bench. Next thing you know, they're robbing and fighting up in here, and it's not a good thing. So I try to prevent robbing anywhere I can. And I've received a lot of comments from other beekeepers and subscribers, and they've warned me about pollen patties and how they bring hive beetles. Well, I think the pollen patties, because I make them with sugar syrup and they smell like lemon, I think those kind of kick it off too. So I try not to feed these wet pollen patties this time of year. Oh, look at that. That's a nice frame. Okay, so we have a lot of brood up in here. I don't see the queen. But I do like to make sure that the bees have their resources, and if I need to feed them, I do feed sometimes from the front yard here on the other side of the house where the bees can't actually see the apiary. That way they're going far enough away to where it's not going to kick off a robbing situation. And I should have kept all of this in mind when I was back there with the little green nuke. That was really my problem. If you remember in that video, when I put them in that hive, I had one deep filled with bees and one medium filled with bees. So I did put a double layer on that hive, and I should have only put one layer on there. So I gave them too much space. That was mistake number one. Mistake number two was that I put the full frame of bees on the right hand side of the hive, and then I took the medium frame of bees and I put that right down in the center, and the bees could not get together to defend the entrance that was right below the center. Another problem, you live and you learn. I actually picked that out during the edit, and I saw that mistake and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I did that. And I did that. So it is what it is. I can't undo it. They're gone. Okay. All right, well, these bees look good. I did not see the queen in the upper box. I'm going to put this first frame in the last position. I know you're not supposed to do that, but oh, why are you on the outside of the hive? Come on, come on. We don't want to do that. Inside is where the fun is. I just want to look around. So let me tell you, since the last time we were in this hive has turned the corner. Because if you remember, this hive was a problem hive all spring long. We had laying worker situation in here. The flow hives were a fail. I mean, this hive really had issues, and it has turned around dramatically. No need to get excited. You're not being robbed out. No need to defend. No need to defend. We're just looking around. We're just looking around. We don't even have to find the queen at this point. We know that she's in there. A nice resource frame. They're still bringing in honey. They probably robbed it out in the little Green Nuke's Air Force box. That's probably where they got their honey. All right, what do we have in here? Okay, we have some brood and some larvae. May or may not see a queen on here because I think I see eggs. We know she was in the upper box a little while ago. So whether or not we see her here is another story. But there are fresh eggs and milk brood all throughout this frame. So I'm going to call it, I think, that this red hive has turned the corner. And I'm very, very, very pleased at their progress. I think we're going to have no problem at all with these girls going into winter. And here I am, I'm talking about winter, and it's 90 degrees outside with 88% humidity before I came out here. I'm talking about winter. Okay. Okay, this frame is filled with milk brood. The whole frame. This queen, who used to be the Navy queen, is really doing a great job. Holy moly. Ravioli. Okay. Get in there, girlies. Oh, I see you fanning. What are you fanning for? Do you have nectar that you're drying, or do you have a queen you're trying to tell us about? Is she going to be right here? Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. This entire frame is filled with milk brood. Okay. And this side is filled with capped brood. I love it. Love it, love it. Girls, you're doing a wonderful job. Wonderful job. You see the queen has been doing her job, so we don't need to actually see her. Alright, well that was good. And that's how I like it to go in a dearth. We didn't have any robbing. I only broke open a little bit of honey, but no bees realized that this was open and they're not getting defensive, so things are good. Okay, so the last time we were here, we removed the flowhive that they didn't have a chance to fill. And if you remember, there were a ton of hive beetles. Now, we're back in the shade. I expect there to be hive beetles. And if there are, I've got oil traps that I'm going to put in here. I don't recall whether or not I put them in here last time. But if I didn't, they are getting oil traps today. This hive is very, very, very strong. And I hope they don't have a defensive reaction when I get in here. Only one way to find out. Let us see what we can see. Oh. Okay, so Beekeeping 101 for dummies. And I was the dummy here. I put this lid on top of this medium without putting a inner cover. Now this lid is stuck to that medium and it's going to be a pain in the butt to get off. So before I take it off, I'm going to go get an inner cover. I'll be right back. All right, so now we have an inner cover. Let's see if we can, let me smoke the bees again. See, another rule of beekeeping is you're not supposed to thump the hive or vibrate the hive. Oh, that came off a lot easier than I thought. Oh, I had an inner cover after all. Excellent. Oh yes, lots of hive beetles. Oh my gosh, tons of hive beetles. Thank goodness this is a strong hive. Okay. Oh goodness. Okay. Okay, that was miserable. I mean, there must have been 400 hive beetles, the same as before. This hive is infested with hive beetles. Let me get my oil traps ready. We are going to, I think, have to go through this entire box to make sure they're not getting slimed out. It did look like they were keeping them up in the top, but that was a lot of hive beetles. Now, this was an empty super a couple of weeks ago. This is one of the supers that were left over after the harvest. I gave it to Juno because she's a strong hive. I'm expecting to see a lot of hive beetles in here. Son of a gun, I'm shaking this one out. Right, there were a gazillion more hive beetles right there. Some of them made it airborne, others did not. I would say most of them did not. I killed a lot of hive beetles. Okay, that is honey. Oh, one hive beetle. Better than 100. So I think that was hive beetle jail. I think it was the top level above the inner cover and the first frame of bees. I mean, we may run into a bunch more, but I'm thinking that was it. Okay, this is a very heavy frame, and that is solid honey. Solid honey. And solid honey on this side. And this box was empty just 3 weeks ago when we did our harvest. So they're still finding something out there. And again, all of these girls probably robbed the box of honey and the feeder that I gave the old green nuke in the Air Force hive. Okay, they're just now starting to draw a comb out in there. That's some really janky comb that was in this one, but it looks like they're repairing it and filling it. So we will just move that one aside, unless there's something to see on the side of it. Okay, yeah, they're filling and capping. Okay, Juno is doing what Juno does. She is strong, strong, strong. She's always strong. And I think that next year my goal is going to be to take as many splits from this hive as I can and create new queens. And I may use the queen grafting table that I think, and now again, this is all speculation because I've not opened it yet, and I'm sorry that I haven't gotten around to it yet. It's just been a very busy summer for me. The queen grafting table that I believe I've received from James McNally in Alberta. He does a fine job with his bees and a fine job with videos, and he's also a fine craftsman. He builds very nice things, and I believe, again, this is all speculation, but I believe he was kind enough to send me a grafting table based on what I saw in his video. I think he sent me one. I did receive a package, but I have not opened it yet. Okay, so we have Juno apparently up here. I don't see her, but she has been laying right there. Gorgeous. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. You go, Juno. What do we have on this last frame? See, gosh, now that I haven't seen any more beetles besides those ones, I wonder if I need to go down any further. Oh, there's 2 beetles. I just had to say that, didn't I? There's 2 more. Well, there's not 200, so that's a good sign. Okay, got the hive beetles off of there. I'm putting these girls back in. They are not getting happy. Actually, they're getting the opposite of happy. They're getting unhappy. Okay, there you go. All right, so we've killed 98% of the hive beetles in this top box. We're going to set up traps for the rest of them. The question is, should I keep going down? And I don't think so. I see that Juno's in there. She's laying. This hive is strong, strong, strong. I've removed most of the hive beetles that are in there. I'm going to give these girls a oil trap and call it before they get too angry. I don't need to be attacked by Juno, because so far she's my favorite queen. Okay, girls, there's one. Okay, there's one. Okay, coming in, coming in, coming in. Get out of the way. There you go. Okay, ladies, right there, right there. There you go. All right. So now we're going to shake these girls right back down into their hive. Ooh, there's a hive beetle right on the back trying to escape. No luck, Chuck. I never noticed, but these hive beetles, they'll play dead. They'll roll over and not move. But you see their legs going. You smash them, then they stop. All right. All right, well, there you go. The end of our adventure. I tell you what, it is hot, hot, hot today. It was 88 degrees and 88% humidity when we started, and now it's 90 plus, and I have no idea what the humidity is, but I feel like I've taken a bath or I've been swimming between the hives again. So there you go. But we did manage to get through the red hive, and if you remember, the red hive earlier in the spring, I thought it was a goner. I thought we were going to have to take Juno off the back row and put her up there to replace red, but the queen that we took out of the navy hive and put into the red hive has been stellar, and that is a very, very, very strong hive right now, as is Juno, because I tell you what, if Juno wasn't as strong as she was right now, There's no way that this hive would have survived the hive beetle infestation that was in here. If there was one hive beetle in here, there was 500, there was a gazillion. And we managed to get rid of most of them from the upper box. I didn't go down very much further because, I tell you what, it looks like they had them all either in the above the inner cover or on these two frames here. I found a couple over here, but most of them were isolated. So the bees were doing a great job of keeping them in jail. Again, this is a strong hive. But something very disappointing is that this hive is running the Guardian, and that was a lot of hive beetles. So we did put oil traps in here. That should take care of Juno for the rest of the season. I will check the traps and replace them as needed. But there you go. Next year we are going to come up with a solution for hive beetles. I have an idea what I'm going to do, but we're going to have a solution because the Guardian's not working as well as I want it to, and in my opinion, queens can't get back when you have it. And there's too many hive beetles in here. With some of these hives sitting in the shade and all those hives in the front row with trees above them, they're going to get shade. I've got to get a solution and pretty doggone quick. So, with all that said, I hope you enjoyed this video and enjoyed this adventure. I hope to see you again next week. If you like the video, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. If you have something to say, by all means, please comment. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, take a moment, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell to be notified of my new content. We try to drop a video every Friday at 3 o'clock. We try to keep it light and have fun here, but we try to learn something as well. And today was how to chase hive beetles and how to beekeep in dearth. So there you go. With all that said, I hope you have a great day. Be happy, and I will see you next week. Take care.